Hi, good morning everybody. Tuesday, January 6th, day 2 of doctor appointment running. I tried to do one yesterday but scrapped it because I didn't do a good job. The narrating was bad and everything else. So we're going to try it again today for you guys. I'm not used to doing non-trucking videos, but hope we do a better job today and I can put something up for you. Got to go to Bethlehem today. Yesterday was Trexler Town and her and my appointments. Today is just her appointment, and then we're going to go get something to eat, probably for lunch again. So, all right, we'll talk to you on the road and elsewhere throughout the day. Now, what do you know? We are climbing the blue. I just can't get away from climbing the blue. But we are heading down 309 100, take 22 east. I was going to go down 248 in the Bath and down, but that is actually longer right now. The GPS is telling us that 22 is running well. And if we go the other way, we probably lose 5 minutes. So as I've told you in trucking, when I bypass 22 during rush hour, 100 to 22 is fastest way to go to get to the airport unless 22 has a problem. So right now it appears that 22 does not have a problem, so that's what the heck is going on here. No, don't tell me there's a huge oversize going up this hill. You've got to be kidding me. I hope it ain't a supersized oversized, because everybody is going slow. Nobody's passing. This is not good. We may end up taking a shortcut anyway. That's Larry. He doesn't know your vehicle, dear.
I waved to him.
Yeah.
I know he doesn't know my vehicle. Still wave to him.
I don't know what's up here that's holding that lane up. Well, now we got this lane held up too. I don't believe this. I wonder if we should do the flipping, because this guy's going to go downhill as slow as he's going uphill. Well, the GPS, Google Maps does not account for oversized loads screwing things up. And that is exactly what we've got going on here. I know it for a fact. I know it for a fact. It is a supersized that's probably about 15 foot wide and nobody can pass. Ay. So today's starting out as good as yesterday did. All right, so we did a flip up there at the top of the mountain because it's gonna. Here comes another one. That's Keith. It's gonna take forever to get down the other side and down to New Tripoli, where whichever way he goes, we don't. And it's probably still faster to backtrack down the mountain and shoot across 895. Hopefully. I've been behind those super oversized before, and they just crawl. They don't. He's going to tie up New Tripoli because he's going to have a hard time getting around the turn there on 100. So I know the routine. So the best thing to do is just come down off the mountain. We're not that far away from where we need to turn to shoot across 895. I can't believe that. And of course, like I said, Google Maps does not account for oversized load movements that are going to slow traffic down. It knows about accidents and stuff, but not something like that. So, unbelievable. All right, backtracked over to 248, and the wife just told me I needed to get over because of the people coming out of Palmer, and I wanted to wait to see if I had to or not. Well, I had to. Now, I showed you this a few times with the big truck when I decided to come over to the airport via 248, but I think this is a cool area through here. The Lehigh cuts a gap through the Blue Mountain, and in the road cantilevers up here where that opposite side goes over top of our side. And we're going to need this lane anyway when we get further up here by the traffic lights to continue on 248. So we're just going to stay here and roll. Too bad it's overcast again, and we didn't have some sunshine to make for more contrast and a better looking video, but I can't control the weather. If I could, I would, and it'd be 75 degrees out instead of 34 degrees out. But anyway, we're going to get to the doctor's appointment on time by doing that flip at the top of the Blue Mountain and coming back this way. It knocked us back about 8 minutes, but we're going to get there just barely on time. But if we would have rolled behind that oversized all the way down the mountain to New Tripoli, it would have taken longer. Now look at this. And he's got his four-ways on. Now, I don't know what the deal is with that, but time to get over. I swear, everything is working against us today. Now look at these two aren't going to get going. He's going to go. I can't win today. That's the lane I need to go straight on 248. I don't know why he had his four-ways on there. I thought he was going to go slow up the hill, but he went faster than the four-wheelers did. Ay vey. Every time I'm on a time crunch, things go sideways. If I'm trying to lollygag, everything goes perfectly. I wonder if that happens to everybody else. If you all have that same issue that I have, shoot me a comment. Let me know that I'm not the only one. So, but anyway, we're going to follow 248. It is taking me the same exact way I would go to the airport. It wants me to turn right on the airport road. And then what it's probably going to do is turn me left on Crawford Drive and run me through my old neighborhood when I lived down in the Lehigh Valley. And that Crawford Drive will turn right into Broadhead Road. And that's where the doctor's office is. So, all right, well, we're down here on Airport Road, 987 here in the valley. And look ahead. It looks like the sun's trying to come out, but that's not going to last all day. It's supposed to rain.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto Hanoverville Road.
All right, well, she stole my thunder. I was going to tell you that we were going to turn up here on Hanoverville Road, so we're not going to take Crawford, which is the one that goes through my old neighborhood. But we got to go the fastest way, which is what she's trying to do, because we are running behind because of that oversized load over there on the Blue Mountain.
At the light, turn left onto Hanoverville Road.
Stay green. Stay green. Stay green.
Thank you.
Good traffic light.
Continue on Hanoverville Road for 1.5 miles.
So what I was starting to say when she interrupted was that the sun's trying to come out down here, but they want rain later on this afternoon, and it's going to be rain because this is the start of our week-long warm-up period. It's 34 right now, so no worries about freezing rain or anything like that. But 9:25 now. Well, we gained 5 minutes from after I rerouted. It had us getting down here at like 9:30, 9:29, and now it just backed us off to 9:25. So she'll be 5 minutes early, which is actually late because they want you there 15 minutes early in case you got to do paperwork in the check-in process. But if we would have stayed on 309 and gone down the other side of the mountain to New Tripoli, we'd probably be 10 or 15 minutes late because, like I said, I know how those oversized loads work. It takes them 10 minutes to make the turn off of 309 on the 100 because they're so long and so wide. And it just would have been a mess. So turning around up top and backtracking a little bit and running across 895 was definitely the way to go. Well, this area changed a whole lot.
Continue on Pennsylvania 512 south for half a mile.
This area changed a lot since I lived down here. That CVS pharmacy in Turkey Hill across the street, we're not there. And we got to wait for this opposing traffic to do its thing before we can go. All right, now we can go. Now let's see if it is 2-lane all the way down to our next turn, half a mile. We turn left on the Broadhead Road. If we turn right, that'd take me into my old neighborhood. We lived there from 1988 to 1996 when my parents decided to move to Arizona. And and I'm kind of laying back a little bit because I'm not sure what NFI is going to do here. Looks like he's going to stay there, hopefully.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto Broadhead Road.
Yeah, at this traffic light, and turn right, go to my old house.
At the light, turn left onto Broadhead Road, then turn right.
Turn left, go into the industrial park that was across the street. Now this was here. This industrial park was built before we moved out of here, so the only thing is it's grown. It was in its beginning stages when we lived here, so it's grown, but it was here. Now, how long are we going to have to wait? We should get an arrow. Eventually. Probably right about now. I tried to time it. I was a second too late. And I believe it's going to be this building right here. On our right. Yep. St. Luke's.
Yep.
Turn right, then your destination will be on the right.
Okay, so what I'm going to do here, since she needs a walker, I am going to get the walker out, drop her off under this portico, and then I will go find a
Your
place to park.
destination is on the right.
Destination is right ahead of us.
Looks like it. No.
Well, no, I'm going to drop you off here, and then I will park.
Okay.
All right, we're here. All right, so I dropped her off and parked, and of course I've told you in previous videos that I'm a smoker, so I got to get me a smoke in before I go in, so hopefully they don't call her right back. But we're here, and we're going to head in a few minutes. Probably can't do any recording in there, so we'll talk to you, I guess, when we're leaving. All right, so done with the doctor's appointment. This was an orthopedic and getting her knee checked out. And next step is going to be an MRI, and then depending on what's involved with the MRI, could be surgery after that. That's her deal. I guess I can explain my deal later on, but for now, we're going to wind our way out of here, if I remember it well enough, and get to 512 and go down into Bethlehem. We're heading to Hellertown to the best pizza place in the Lehigh Valley, which is Crossroads Pizza. So we'll talk to you down there, show you some of Bethlehem as we make our way down there. But right now we're just trying to get our way out of here, and I think this is the one that will take us out back to 512 Center Street. After T-Force goes. Yep. Alright, we'll talk to you when we get down in the city. My favorite place, my hometown. Alright, well, got a little twisted up. Made a right instead of a left. So instead of going to Center Street, we're going to come out here to Linden Street, which is actually a little bit better. A little less twisting and turning outright, because we can take Linden Street straight down into Bethlehem, straight past Liberty High School, where I went to high school. And that'll put us to Broad Street, and then Broad Street to the Mincy Trail Bridge, and the rest of the way to Hellertown. So we will show you where I went to high school. Of course, we just missed the light, so now we gotta sit and wait. I can make a right turn on red. There's no sign saying I can't, but I gotta wait for traffic to clear. So we'll creep up a little bit. I can see past the tree line. We got a shot after this white Subaru or Toyota. Yep. All right, this is Linden Street. We are in the city of Bethlehem. The Cup, old ice cream stand there to the left, still in existence. It was called the Cup when my mom was a little girl. It's still here. Up ahead here, once we get through this traffic light, is Liberty High School, my alma mater. And I'm going to give my age away here, but I graduated in 1986. So actually it's my 40th anniversary of my high school graduation. Very big high school. Probably 3,000 or more students enrolled in there, if not more, maybe 5 or 6. I don't know anymore, but yeah, Liberty High School. Too bad I didn't have the other camera on. I could put a side view up and show you. Like I said, one day I want to come down here and do a tour of my hometown where I park and walk around and show you some of the scenes from my past, from my childhood, my old stomping grounds, and things like that. This is Gep Street. If I'd make a left and follow it to the end, you get into what's known as Gep Circle. It is an oval where the street ends and loops around on itself. And for those of you who are interested in Star Trek, Jonathan Frakes was born and raised here in Bethlehem and named his production company Gep Circle Productions, because I guess he lived back in there when he was a child. Next light where we make a left, East Broad Street. Runs the whole east-west length of Bethlehem, goes through downtown, becomes West Broad Street. Take you right into Allentown, turns into Hanover Avenue and then Hamilton Boulevard. But we're going to go east here. I'm going to take us to the Mincy Trail Bridge, which we will actually drive over the top of the food court of the Wind Creek Casino. Casino goes underneath the bridge, and when you are in the food court, you are underneath the bridge that we're going to drive across. And this area changed but still stayed the same. Building to the left used to be SureFit Slipcover Company. Now I don't know what it is. A whole bunch of different things in there. And the apartments to the right there, senior apartments, were built later. So the casino down here is built on the old Bethlehem Steel property. One of the ore cranes is still in existence. That's where they had the Wind Creek sign. There used to be 4 of them. This used to be a 2-lane metal open truss bridge when I was a kid. Since reconstructed into a 4-lane modern concrete bridge. But after we crossed the river, which you can't see, to the left is where the casino floor is. To the right is some motels and where the outlet mall that attaches to the casino is. And somewhere, I'll tell you, it is right about here where we are driving right over the top of the food court, which bridges the gap between the casino and the outlet mall. And you can't see the Wind Creek sign. The ore crane is right there to our left. You can see the edge of it. They left 1. There used to be 4 of them. That was a big ore yard, and the iron ore would come in from the Great Lakes, and that was part of the process to make steel. They used the iron ore and other ingredients and made steel that way. Now you can probably see the part of the Wind Creek sign. If we were coming the other direction, maybe you'd see it better, and maybe we will come that way when we leave. Alright, so we went through Bethlehem. We are now in Hellertown, and this is where we're going to go eat up here at this next traffic light. Hopefully we can make a left, because I see a sign there that says road closed ahead. Hopefully we can get into their parking lot. It's called the Crossroads Hotel. My opinion, the best pizza in the Lehigh Valley, best cheesesteaks in the Lehigh Valley, and if anybody ever gets a chance to roll I-78 through Allentown, Bethlehem, Easton, stop here and get a lunch or a dinner. It's well worth it. Every time we come down anywhere near this place, we always make it a point to stop and have lunch or supper here. Just hope the handicap spot is open. It is. So this place still looks the same as it did 50 years ago, the first time I ever stepped foot in here as a little boy. And that's part of the charm of it, is that it never changed, and neither did their recipe. Their food has always been the same, very consistent. And like I said in the car, anytime we come down here, anywhere near, we make it a point to stop here and have lunch or supper. Okay, so I was talking to the waitress, and this marlin has been on display here for as long as I can remember. So she said 40 years ago, and I just looked at the plaques here, and it was caught September 6, 1980 in New Jersey, and it was a relative or a friend of the owner. And so I believe this is a replica. I don't believe it's the actual marlin, but it has been on display in here for 40 years now. So I remember this too as a child. And it's just one of the unique parts of the restaurant that I always enjoy looking at, talking about, telling people about. So. And here it is, pure gold, a Crossroads pepperoni pizza. It's a different crust from most pizza parlors, different sauce. They have their own ingredients, but it is just absolutely delicious. And I can't wait to dig into that thing. Okay, this ain't gonna be easy, but the classic. Oh, I wish you guys could taste this pizza. I wish you guys could taste this pizza, because there's nothing else on this earth quite like it. Like I said, if your travels ever bring you to the Lehigh Valley, Allentown, Bethlehem, Easton area, and you're running on I-78, now the only problem is if you're a truck driver, there's really no place to park a big rig here. But if you're with your family and you're in a personal vehicle, make it a point to stop here for supper or for lunch and get a pizza or a cheesesteak, because they are just out of this world. Okay, now that was funny. I was giving it the command to do its thing, and it wouldn't listen to me, and the wife said it, and it started up. So here we go. We are going by Wind Creek Casino right now, and once we get on the other side of this traffic light, which hopefully these four-wheelers go quicker than the big tractor-trailer does, so we get in front of them, you can see the old Bethlehem Steel plant. Like I said, this is all put on Bethlehem Steel property, and a lot of these buildings off to the right now are old Bethlehem Steel buildings. They haven't quite been rehabilitated yet. You can see the blast furnaces up there to the right behind this long building. And again, I've got to come down here sometime and do a walkabout and show you the history of my hometown. But all this area to the right was Bethlehem Steel property. To the left was always residential properties, and there was a railroad track that ran through there, which is now a walking and biking trail, one of those rails to trails type deals. But everything to the right of this road, which is Daly Avenue but will become 3rd Street, was Bethlehem Steel property. Some of the buildings have been rehabilitated. I see Steel Stacks is there, which is a small concert venue, and but I got to come down here when the weather breaks and it's warmer out and do a walkabout, show you the blast furnaces and the ore trestle and various components of the Bethlehem Steel that are now accessible that weren't. That whole property was under such lock and key. Unless you worked there, you could not get in there. It was like a fortress. And like I said previously in the video, it was a city within a city, and we've got a problem. No, we don't. Not familiar with the area like I used to be. That lane becomes a turning lane, but luckily there was a big truck that was a slow mover. This is the South Side Business District. Bethlehem is kind of split into two by the Lehigh River. You have the South Side Business District and the North Side Business District. This is 3rd Street. This is the South Side Business District. So I figured I'd take a cruise through here and at least show you driving through Bethlehem. You gotta sidestep this car that's turning left. Still new construction going on down here. A lot of stuff has been rebuilt and repurposed because Bethlehem is a growing city. The Northeast on a whole is losing population, but Bethlehem is growing like crazy. There's probably more than 10,000 people here that weren't here when I lived down here. The population went from 69,000 to almost 80,000. So almost 10,000 extra people have moved into the area because it's just a desirable place to live. Old, historic, colonial in places, but not a lot of crime. So it is a very desirable city to live in. It's a clean city. Take pride in their heritage, but still embracing the future. Just a unique place, and people are happy to call it home. No. Okay. Now I'm trying to think which way I want to go. I can run you up to the North Side Business District before we get on to 378, or I can shoot across the hill-to-hill bridge. I'm not sure which way I want to go. Maybe I'll save some of it for another trip down here. Yes, maybe we'll just go across the hill-to-hill bridge, which is a concrete viaduct that crosses the Lehigh River and the Bethlehem Fairgrounds, where they have part of Music Fest and railroad track. But yeah, Bethlehem has changed a lot, and if anybody hasn't been here in like 30 years, they probably wouldn't recognize it. Like I said, it embraced its past, embraces its history, but also has progressed into the future with some modern buildings and things like that. So you can see there's a lot of construction going on. New buildings going up, old buildings being facelifted, so forth and so on. This is the side of town my dad grew up on. He was a South Side Bethlehem native. I was a West Side Bethlehem native. But this is home. This is my birth town. There used to be a railroad crossing right about, let's see, where was it? Right here. Because the old train station is down that way, which is now part of St. Luke's. Oh, wait a minute. I need to go that way. I forgot about this new ramp that they put in here. You used to have to go up beyond this light, and then there was a ramp that took you up onto the hill-to-hill bridge, but they reconfigured this probably about 15 years ago, and it sort of slipped my mind that this is now the way you get onto the hill-to-hill bridge. There's the old Bethlehem train station. See it for a minute, and then the wall's going to block it. And then we got this light red. Well, some people are a little less fortunate, but I don't carry cash, so really can't help the man out. I am a debit card person. So, if you can see up ahead, past the traffic light there, that red brick building, it says Lehigh Valley Railroad. That was the corporate offices of the old Lehigh Valley Railroad, which got absorbed into Conrail in 1976, along with a bunch of other northeastern railroads, the Pennsylvania Railroad, the Erie, and the Lackawanna, and so forth and so on. So the times changed, and now it's all Norfolk Southern because Conrail went bankrupt, and things come and things go. I don't know how long this light's going to take. Another long segment. It's 7 minutes already. But I'm proud of my hometown and wanted to show it off a little bit. And like I said, we will do a walkabout down here someday and show you the 18th century colonial area and the Moravian area and my old neighborhoods. And now nobody's paying attention to the traffic light. I'm sitting here talking to you guys. I knew it turned green. I don't know what all they were doing. There's the Fritsch building. What does it say temperature is? 44 degrees. It definitely warmed up very nicely. We're out of that deep freeze for a little while. So, and downtown Bethlehem north side is off there to our right, but we're not going to jump off the freeway just to get back on the freeway. We'll save that for another trip down here. Now on 378 heading up to 22, and you've seen one freeway, you've seen them all, so we'll try to talk to you a little more before we get back to the house. I'm going to stop by the employer and pick up my envelope for tomorrow so I know what I'm doing. Maybe depending on what I'm doing, I can start a little earlier if need be. All right, well, we're back home, and we had a pretty good day, and I had a pretty good video day today, unlike yesterday where everything just seemed to go wrong and I didn't know what to say and what to talk about and show, and everything else today went out pretty good. So we're back home, and a lot of snow melt for only going up to like 42 degrees today and limited sunshine. We had a lot of snow melt. We lost probably half the snow in our backyard. So by Friday or Saturday, most all of it should be gone. Now, the only problem is after Sunday, we go back cold again. And I don't know when the next storm comes. But usually what ends up happening is we finally manage to get rid of our snow cover. And it comes right back in a couple days. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Hopefully not. I'd like to... even if it gets cold, I'd like to lose the snow cover because at least it doesn't look cold. It may be cold and it may feel cold, but at least it doesn't look cold, and that's half the battle as far as I'm concerned. So hopefully once we lose this snow cover, we keep it gone for a while. But we're done. We're home. I'm going to go upstairs and get these things onto the computer and maybe even edit them tonight. We'll see.